welcome to this quick 20-minute chat. Hopefully we'll land on a 5 to 10-minute Q&A. Talking about something incredibly important to me, something that we've turned into a service here at Stock Marketing with video interviews. Incredibly important. James, welcome to joining us this morning, Element 79 Gold Corp. We know the pandemic has turned investors into spending upwards of 6 hours. Every North American adult now averages 6 hours a day online. This should matter to you if you're in IR. This should matter to you if you're CEO of a public company. Of those 6 hours, 1 hour and 46 minutes is spent on social media. It's crazy. An hour and 46 minutes. What else do we do for an hour and 46 minutes in a day? I don't know if you collaborate all the time. We eat even totals an hour and 46 minutes, but there we are, glued to our phones, glued to our laptops, our desktops. An hour and 46 minutes is spent buried in social media as investors, average adults in North America. So it's insane, but it's true, and it's the reality, and it's the reality of where investors are moving forward. Video interviews. We know people are absorbing content out of YouTube. We're going to talk a little bit about podcasts today as it comes into play. So 20 minutes, let's get into chatting about how important video interviews are for you CEOs, head of IR, those of you that are in social media, you know what I mean, websites and marketing, public companies out there in the world. So I'm Scott Breard. I have the proud pleasure of being the CEO of Stock Marketing. My wife and I, Kelly, have now run this company for 6 years. We're based on 23 years of online marketing. We've moved everything into public companies, and what we love doing for great clients like Chuck down there, who's written in on the chat area as well. We love what we do. We do it well. We have a great team and some professionals that are with us I'm going to chat about in a few minutes. So, and even more importantly, get to the end of this with me. 127 of you signed up on LinkedIn. Get to the end of this with me. I've got something I'm going to give away. One of the services that we have here at Stock Marketing, one of our marketing people came up with it. It's a brilliant idea. We did it for the last video, and a bunch of you jumped in and joined in with it. So stay tuned to the end of this. I've got something cool we're going to give away. It's something relating to video interviews. So video interviews, before we talk about what to do with them, let's talk about why you need them. 6 years ago, we got involved in this industry. We did some great things. The pandemic started, and I've literally had conversations with great CEOs like Chuck that's with us, and many others, what to do with capturing the attention of investors. No longer were they at conferences, no longer were they at road shows or lunch and learns. Pandemic shut everybody down inside their homes. And guess what these investors did? They built little comfortable offices. They started watching Zoom interviews, and they started communicating through Zoom. They're comfortable this way. They're comfortable watching videos. They can do it from the cottage. They can do it from the backyard. They can do it from the home office. That's where investors are now in this day and age. And that's where the opportunity is for CEOs and head of IR to also be interviewed and capture the attention of investors through these great platforms we have in social media. So many CEOs have come to me and said, wow, it might work out, no longer attending PDAC, although it is back up and running. It's going to capture the amount of attention of investors I need. But if I do video interviews, I can capture them worldwide. What a great opportunity. Solves a big problem I have in getting access to these dollars or visibility on our stock. But what do I talk about? So some key things here I've written down. If you have a product, what a great opportunity to do a video interview with a professional and talk about the new product you have at your company or a new service you have at your company. They're going to ignite investors to get excited. And if you're in mining, man, project updates, what a great opportunity to talk about important things happening in your mining company and get it across through a video interview. And from there, each and every time you have a news release, who wants to read a 4-page news release of assay results? Really, truly, they don't. But spend the 5 to 10 minutes with a professional interview and have a chance to convey the results through an anchorman or a professional broadcaster with you along for the interview, and have a chance to talk about these things, describe them to people, rather than people trying to read these results out of a news release. Investor presentation, another great idea to tie yourself to a video interview. and have a professional broadcaster walk page by page with you through your new investor presentation. New hires, another great opportunity. Do an interview with the new hire as an executive of your company and talk about them, past history of where they work, their education, experience in the industry, and no better way to convey this information than with a video interview. Quarterly results, AGMs, same things. Do a video interview, have a chance to talk about what's happening with your company and get it across in such an easy and simple method. And what better way to do it than through something like YouTube? So we're going to talk a little bit about Idaho Champion is there as an example, one of our clients. When we began video interviews years back, we realized for the companies and the 2.5 years I spent as a director of a mining company, when our CEO was interviewed by these third-party video interview companies, the video was only ever posted on their media, YouTube. You could link to it, sure, when you post it to social media or post it to LinkedIn, but you ran all of that traffic back to their YouTube. All the subscribers, all the likes, all the impressions were on their YouTube. You were gaining them exposure and you were cutting them a check for thousands of dollars. It made no sense to me. So when we launched Today's Stocks, our fun growing media company with some great professionals, we realized that why don't we take these interviews and populate our clients' YouTube channels. Idaho Champion, great example. Jonathan Buick, CEO, always being interviewed. We've taken these videos, the MP4 files, and populated the Idaho Champion YouTube. And we do it with all of our CEOs for all of their interviews. If they get a hold of that MP4 file, just like a JPEG, a PNG, there's your acronym, an MP4 file, we can use it to populate a YouTube channel. Draw the viewers to your YouTube channel, gain impressions, gain likes, and most importantly, gain subscribers so that when you have new information being posted as a video, people will automatically be notified. Investors will have a chance to learn more information. So key things to YouTube. First of all, 81% of North American adults are on YouTube. I mean, it's as popular as Netflix or any key news channel you've ever watched, CP24 in Ontario. As many people are watching YouTube to get their news and get their information. 52% of users are logging in every day. It's huge. 52% of the 81% of North American adults are logging in every day. And here's the stat that blows me away, which is the reason why everybody needs a YouTube channel. If you have a public company, the average user is spending almost a full day every month inside YouTube. So whether they're using YouTube at home on their smart TV, they're pulling up YouTube videos on their phone while they're sitting on the GO train on their way to work, or they're running on a treadmill, no matter where it is, they're pulling up information. They're watching an average of an entire day's content in a month. It's insane. 24 hours per month, the average user is watching videos. And we're not talking about teenagers at home during the school year, during the summer, and watching 24 hours a day, literally, of YouTube videos. We're talking the average adult. So it's a ton of time and it's a ton of opportunity for you to gain access to investors. So if you have a public company, get your own YouTube channel up and running. Right there, Idaho Champion. They got a nice banner, their logo is visible, their tags are visible. What stock exchanges are they on? And what is their symbol? Their bio's there, and the link to their website is there as well. So public companies, get yourself a YouTube channel and make sure when you provide a video interview and you've paid a third-party company for this, get permission to have the MP4 file, and it's so easy to upload it right into your own YouTube. Now, the second thing that nobody ever thinks about doing with video interviews, populating a podcast channel. Podcasts are booming. They took off through the beginning of COVID. Joe Rogan, Caller Daddy, I don't know, there's some crazy names to some of these. Millions and millions of people every day are tuning into podcasts. They have their favorite, they're addicted to it, and they can also subscribe to it, just like you can subscribe to a YouTube channel. So what are the stats on podcasts? 26% of North American adults are listening weekly. And look at these stats for investors. 65% of podcast listeners are over the age of 35. 66% of them have a university degree. Well, talk about your average investor out there potentially in your sector. So top podcast outlets, Apple, Google, Amazon, and Spotify. You want to hear the greatest thing of all? It's completely free to create a podcast channel, just like it's completely free to create a YouTube channel. So MP4s, although it's a video file, can also be uploaded to all of these platforms. So where are people listening to podcasts, running on a treadmill, driving their car to work, GO train, subway, walking the dog, is where they're absorbing audio content. And what a great opportunity for you to take that video interview you may have done with a third party, post it to your own podcast channel, just like we're showing Idaho Champion here. There's their podcast channel available on Apple. So right now, if you have your phone with you, you can literally open up your Android or your iPhone. There's an app automatically downloaded on the phone that says podcast. Open it up. There's your directories, and there's a directory of investments, and your company could be listed right there, just as we've listed Idaho Champion. It works right there for Apple. And hey, guess what? There it is on Google, which means any Android phone also has the company listed in their directory. Other great opportunities, there it is on Amazon Music. People addicted to Amazon, or more important, people with an Amazon speaker talking to Alexa all day can say, "Hey Alexa, play the Idaho Champion Gold Mines podcast." And up it comes with the most recent episode, which could be their most recent video interview. And as well as Spotify booming. They bought Joe Rogan. They bought so many other great podcasts. You can also put your podcast up on Spotify for no charge and have it there with your video content. So huge opportunity. Apple, Google, Amazon, Spotify, the major platforms for podcasts. And you can easily build your channel, logo, bio, link to your website. These are completely free things to do inside a podcast channel. And it's so easy to upload that video file that you should be getting from the video interviews that you give and add it to your audio podcast. We've done it. We've talked to hundreds of CEOs of public companies since day one when we started, especially since the beginning of the pandemic. Scott, how do we get our message out there? How do we attract investors? How do we find these people? Well, like I've said all along in these 4 interviews now I've done this summer, those people are inside their house, they're at their cottage, or they're in their backyard. They're not hopping in their car or a subway to go to your next lunch and learn, or your next road show, or to attend another conference. These people are now cocooned, they're comfortable in their own house, and you got to find your way to them. How to do it? Great website, social media marketing, executive branding, boost yourself on LinkedIn. So my 3rd webinar was all about, you can easily go back on our stock marketing YouTube and watch these. In video interviews, the secret sauce to it all is to talk about all of the great things happening in your company on a video interview. They work for our clients. We've done incredibly well with it, and they'll work for you as well.